Today I'm going to show you how to make one of my favourite cakes ever. This is my gluten-free lime and coconut cake. Whoa, look at that! And it's so easy to make. Now the first thing you need to do is pour some sugar and some butter, which I've just softened in the microwave, into a mixing bowl and mix it together with an electric mixer until it's nice and pale and creamy like this. And then I'm going to add in 3 eggs. Now all of the recipe is in the description down below with the ingredients and a link to the written version, so don't worry about trying to remember everything I've said in this video. Once the eggs are in, give it another good mix and don't worry too much if it starts to split, because this should rectify when we put the flour in. And now for the toughest part, we want the zest of lime. Now this does always feel like a lot of effort, but trust me, it is going to be worth it for the amazing zesty flavours in this cake. Set the lime to one side because you're going to need those later, and then add your desiccated coconut and your gluten-free self-raising flour. And again, if you don't have self-raising flour, just add 1 teaspoon of baking powder per 100 grams of plain flour. Give this another good mix, and then I just like to add in a little bit of milk. This helps to loosen up the mixture a bit and just make it a little bit easier. Give it another mix till it's nice and combined. We don't want to overmix it, but we just don't want any lumps of flour. And now I'm going to pour it into my loaf tin. A really easy hack for this is to use pegs to hold the liner in place. It took me ages to discover this, but trust me, it saves so much hassle of the loaf liner folding in on itself. So smooth that cake mixture out so that it's nice and even. Take the pegs off because we don't want them to melt in the oven, and then pop this in an oven. It takes about an hour to bake until it's lovely and golden like this. Now while the cake is still warm, we're going to poke it with a skewer all over, and then I'm going to put some lime juice on top, a little bit like a lemon drizzle cake. So you make this by just heating up some lime juice from the limes we zested earlier with some sugar, then pour it over while it's still nice and hot and the cake is warm, and then we're going to leave that to cool completely. Now this is going to make sure the cake is lovely and zesty and limey all the way through, and really moist as well. Yes, I don't like that word either, but trust me, it's the best word to describe this cake. Now the final step is using that last lime with some icing sugar to make this lovely zesty lime icing. We want it nice and thick because I want it to just sort of slightly drip down the edges, but I don't want it to just run off the top of the cake. So once your cake is completely cool, you can just spread this lovely thick icing on top, leave it to set, and then just decorate it with a little bit of extra desiccated coconut and some more lime zest if your hands are feeling up to zesting limes again. Trust me, mine were aching a little bit after this. And there you have it. It's such an easy cake to make. It will last for several days in an airtight container, and it's a real crowd pleaser. Get the recipe in the full description down below. Hit like and subscribe to this channel if you want more recipes like this, and I'll see you again very soon.